This is Lindy Nowak, founder of Up in a Day websites. And in my episode for the Business Growth Architect Show, I will share with you why you'll never be ready to get your website up and what to do about it. We are eliminating the myth around timelines and how to find the perfect web partner who won't screw you.
Hello, fabulous person. Beate Gillette here, the Growth Architect. Welcome back to the Business Growth Architect Show, where we bring you cutting-edge business strategies from some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, business transformation experts, and visionaries who want to help you to scale your impact. Look for one tangible strategy that you can take back and implement right away. And now back to our guest. Welcome back. This is your host, Beate Gillette from the Business Growth Architect Show. And today with me is Lindy Nowak from Up in a Day. Lindy, I'm so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And so today we are going to talk about something I think is an anchor for so many business owners, and it is everything relating around the website. So I'm going to be asking you probably quite a few questions today that I know our listeners want to hear about. When is, what's a good website? Is it, when is the right time to do a website? How much money do I need to spend? I changed my direction and now my website doesn't reflect who I am anymore. So we will be diving into all of this. But before we start, tell our listeners who you are and why do we need to listen to you?
I am the founder of Up in a Day websites, and we build quick, simple, beautiful, professional, marketing-driven websites quickly. And we have a process that I created that makes it very, very easy for our clients to get up and running quickly.
I love that a lot. And so the idea, right? What's the strategy behind the website? Because what I'm hearing is you are not necessarily aiming at perfection, but at getting it done. Would that be a correct assumption?
Yes, it is all about getting up and running quickly. Why? If you are a new business owner and you need an online presence, please don't rely on your social medias as your website. It is crucial today to have a well-designed, very clear, easy to digest website that makes sense for the way in which people surf websites, right? The people are going, they're skimming, they're moving fast in the days of LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. You're moving so fast. So our solution is creating awesome websites with a clear strategic framework with messaging that converts. So the way we lay out our websites are all built around the marketing and sales purposes of all of our clients, so that when people are going to these websites and they're going, they're skimming fast, they're looking for those keywords and the problems that you're going to solve for them. And if they can relate to you, that's the importance of a website today.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand this correct. So what I normally want to do when I'm a business owner, I'm going to look at my business. I'm going to suffer a little bit from imposter syndrome or the question, do I even have a right to be here? Now I'm going to go build my website. I have looked at some of the internet marketing stuff. I know I should give myself sort of a sassy title. And now I can come up with one. So I'm going to come up with something that sounds kind of a little, little juicy, maybe something too long, right? Maybe instead of the 3 to 7 words, it's now 3 sentences. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to say to myself, well, are all the reasons why you need to work with me. And here are all the things that I do. I coach, I consult, I have online courses, and I tell you everything that I do. And then I'm going to do my bio, right? About me. I'm awesome. I picked up my first camera when I was 5 years old. And then somehow I want that to convert. So you say I need to be a lot more strategic about how I look at the copy. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. So I think when, as business owners, when we go into the big, vast realm of creating content that goes on our website, we tend to want to put it all out there, all the jargon, everything that we do, selling them through, uh, you know, just tons of copy, tons of paragraphs, which it makes sense, right? But we have to take a step back as business owners and think, what is the purpose of our website? Who is coming to the website? Who are we marketing to? And what do we want to tell them in a clear, strategic way so that they understand exactly what we're providing? So in that sense, I would say rather than putting as much content on your website as possible, to think about your business model and the strategy and what it is that you want your website visitors to do. How are they coming to your website? Is it typically a cold audience? Most likely they're going to be coming to the website as referrals. So they have already heard about you and now they're going to go to the website for confirmation. They're going to surf around. They're going to look for your services, a little bit about you, but mainly what are the problems that they are coming to you with that you can solve. And I think when you are in a position where you are either creating a brand new website or your business has pivoted, or maybe your services have changed, or you're adding services like webinars, to take a step back and think about the structure of which your business is created. So if you have services that are very straightforward, they go on the homepage and then maybe they go on a service page, but be clear. Don't give too much and don't give too little. I always say this: if you get on your website and you put all this content on there, for example, let's say your services, and it's just like super long, chances are that the person coming to the website, there's almost like a lack of trust because they're not going to want to read it. It's too much. It's too much for them. They're probably in an overwhelmed state. But you also don't want to give too little either. So there's like this very fine balance of how much content you actually should put on your website, depending on what industry you're in.
I think this is a great point. I'm going to interrupt you here real quick. Apologize for that. But I think what happens a lot of time is that if you don't have a framework on how to, apply that to something that exists, which is why I like the ideas of capabilities briefings, for all the listeners that have ever done one, because there's a pretty standard formula on what you need to do, because you have to learn how to drill it down. So you are saying more is not better, and more is not better. Why?
More is not better because because when you have a lot to say and a lot to share, chances are they're not going to read it. You can clean it up, you can button it up, clarify your message, put it into bullet points, keep it easy, keep it strategic, and know who your audience is. If you know who's coming to your website, you know who you want to work with, you know who you want to call your office, then you'll be able to speak to them in a clear, concise way. I think that when we add a bunch of text to our website, the message gets lost, right? You're missing the point on how the website should work for you. And, moving into that, like, how does the website work for your business? I think it's important to also think about your business, think about what you want to say, think about the services and the products that you are offering, and then go in and think about the framework in which you want somebody to move around your site in order to make that call, to make that contact with you.
So what I'm hearing you say, and this is why I am so excited to have you on the podcast, is that contrary to what a lot of people think, there is a distinct strategy to build a website. And we're not talking about funnels, right? So this is not funnel hacking. This is simply an online presence. What's the difference between the way you build websites and funnel hacking? So just we get this out of the way.
Oh, that's such a good question. All right. So the difference between how we build websites and sales funnel pages is this. Our websites, number one, are a little bit longer. So they're a little bit more robust. And the way we framework all of our websites are, clear header message, a descriptor. Underneath that, we talk a little bit about either the company or we hit a pain point of their audience, and then we provide the services and the solutions. And then underneath that is what we call all the jargon, the testimonials, the social media, more about the company, more about your services. What's different also is that we take one call to action and we place it everywhere on the site in strategic areas, so that when somebody is in that moment of, this is for me, I'm making a call, then they don't have to search around and look for that button to contact them. I think when you're building out a sales funnel web page, that is a very, very specific target audience, very niche, very targeted. Also, the message is more of a sales proposition. You're creating urgency and you are keeping it as short and concise as possible and using very strong imagery, probably just one image, maybe a couple below the header that really demonstrate what you are offering. So and typically with a sales funnel page, you're really just offering one service or one product to really sell them through, because you're really doing a huge push to get people to that page. And you probably have organic or paid marketing behind that. Whereas your business website, well, that has longevity. So in that sense, you're kind of thinking big picture. So big picture, here's my business, here's my business model. I have this umbrella and what falls underneath it. And that's what will be placed on your website in a clear, concise way.
I love that. So I wanna start, putting this in sort of an outline. So we really have made this clear. So yes, when you build a website, what I'm hearing you say is be clear that you reverse engineer to achieve the outcome you want the website to have, which is typically call me or download something that goes on my, that gets you on my list, so I then can follow up with my marketing to you. But it's not a sales funnel. It has elements of bringing people in, but the language is a solution-driven language to the larger issues that you can help solve for your clients, which may not be a laser-focused one issue, unless, of course, that is the business, right? So somebody who only does sales solutions. But even in that, it could be team training, it could be individual training, it could be webinars, online course, could be all kinds of different things. So then once we have that, we look at what we have, we trim all the fat and we say, is it really necessary that they know I've been doing this for 20 years? Is it really necessary that they know that I have, that my office is located in a 4-story building? Is it really necessary? So now I'm going in and you help me, because that's what you do. You help me to cut the fat, get all the stuff out that hinders me from getting my message across really quickly. So now I have my website. So the part that you talk about is that you help people that struggle with one very common problem when it comes to their websites. Would you tell us what is that strategy that you help them with, and how do you do it, and what do they get when they work with you and successfully do this?
Sure. So typically what happens is the website can seem like a daunting task, and oftentimes it is a daunting task. And when you're shopping around for a website agency, typically you're going to get a number that's way too low where you don't trust them, or way too high, a $20,000 website from an agency that promises you all of this content and all this SEO and getting you out there in front of your market, and your website's all of a sudden this like amazing, brilliant marketing tool on page 1 when somebody searches your product or services. And that doesn't happen like that, right? So when I started Up in a Day, I actually had a digital marketing agency. We were building very complicated websites. And what was happening is we kept on getting all of these business owners coming to us and entrepreneurs in desperate need of a website fix, redesign, or a brand new website, but they needed it done quickly because they had bad experiences or are coming to us with cold feet from agencies or individual web developers and designers who didn't deliver what they needed for their website. And when I mean what they didn't deliver, on time, on budget, and with a website that actually speaks to that client's audience. So they had this website that really was just kind of like cloudy. It wasn't specific. It didn't have clear messaging. And most importantly, the language wasn't right. The messaging wasn't marketing messaging. It was just all about the business owner, and it wasn't about their audience and who they were looking after, because there's a fine line between a balance, I should say, between speaking to your core audience and talking about yourself, and how you marry that copy in a clear, concise way is really a dance, and it has to be right for your business and for you and for your audience. So that's what we provide. And so what I did is I said, well, listen, there's got to be a better way for these poor business owners and entrepreneurs who are seriously struggling to get a great online presence up for those three reasons. And so I said, well, listen, it doesn't have to be that way. And so I created Up in a Day. We were building really great websites in Squarespace. We were building them quickly. We love it. We had a whole strategy down. The process basically created itself because we know the platform like the back of our hand. But most importantly, we were marketers, and we took all of our marketing expertise coupled with our design process, and we created Up in a Day. So the whole process is very streamlined from the moment we onboard our clients to the day of the build out and gathering all of their content and then the review with them. It's really built for small business owners who are struggling, because they deserve a website that works for their business, and they deserve to have a sigh of relief at the end of the day, knowing that once they send us everything, that they're going to be up and running. And really, that's what it's all about, because it doesn't have to take a $20,000 website for your business if you are either starting or if you are a seasoned business owner and you need a revamp or you need additional services. And the other thing I want to mention is when it comes to creating and gathering all the content for your website, you can still launch with something simple. Don't wait. Don't drag your feet and say, well, I know I'm going to be doing, creating these webinars in Q2 and Q3. So let me just put this on the back burner. Don't put your website on the back burner. You can get something simple up and out there right now for somebody to just go to, understand what you do and your services. And then later on, you can always go back to your website and add on to it. And what I would say to that is, I know it sounds easier said than done, but that's what I was saying at the beginning. Beginning of the podcast, take a step back before you start anything website. Think about your business. We ask all of our clients this: where are you right now? Where do you want your business to be in 6 months? And where do you want your business to be in a year? Write it all out. Use a mind map. Think about your employees, your staff, your freelancers. And then once you have that model and that vision of your business, then let's talk about your website, because what you can build your website in areas, right? So like project by project, quarter by quarter, depending on how your business is evolving and growing, because your website is always going to evolve and grow, right? Every 6 months, you're going to want to change it, if not earlier than that. But if you can get the framework down of where your business is actually going to be, It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. And just by taking those few hours, couple days, whatever you need to plan out your business and think about that vision and the mission and the values and who your audience is, it will 100% make your website so successful. And that is if you can find an agency that, you know, can also partner with you and help you see that vision and bring it to life.
Yes, I think you said some very, very important things that I want to summarize here and make sure that everybody on the call really hears this. The idea of waiting until your business is in shape X, where the message is super clearly flushed out, where all your products and services are in place, where your 3-year plan, your mission, your vision, where everything is planned out. You telling me that's an illusion, that the day will never come, that the day's today.
Yeah.
Today is today is as good as any day. So now if we go and we say, okay, I know that all these things are coming, it's not difficult to add an extra line or module or to, you know, in the way websites are built today, or an extra page and then add it to the menu. That takes like no time whatsoever. So why do you think people are so afraid of tackling their website, or so insecure or so uncertain? Do you think it is because of all the horror stories about the branding agency that charged them $20,000 the first time they did that and they got nothing, and then they didn't have access and they couldn't change it? What is it that creates this trepidation of the website? Because the website's a living, breathing thing. I mean, I'm in my website like once a week.
I think there might be a stigma against website agencies, to be completely honest. There are a lot of really great ones out there, and there are a lot of really bad ones. And you really don't know who you're working with until you see that website done and up. And I think that when it comes to kind of dragging your feet, putting it at the bottom of the to-do list, procrastinating the website, there are a couple of things. Yes, the factor of, you know, it's going to be very expensive. There's another factor that we see a lot, which I mentioned earlier, which is bad experiences with their former websites. They spent too much. They just had overall not great customer service. And then I think the other part, especially as solopreneurs, is that we have to sit down and actually think about what I want on this website. That sounds daunting. And
I can see that.
And it is daunting, right? You're probably not a copywriter. You probably don't know or understand exactly, you know, web design and framework and marketing and the usage of websites. So like you're thinking probably, I'm not creative, so there's no way I could do this. If you can find an agency, an individual that can bring great copywriting, great marketing, as well as great design, I think you'd be really buttoned up and ready to go. And, you know, it doesn't have to take long. You know, going back to what you were saying about getting in and making edits and updates and adding pages to your website, today, the platforms are so easy. Like everything's online. You log into your web platform and go. We are big believers in our clients feeling like they have full ownership of their websites, right? They don't have to rely on the agency to come back and wait the weeks to make the smallest edit, or have to pay a few $100s to make a small edit. We make sure that our clients understand everything about their website. So we'll send everybody a video tutorial showing them exactly what to do once their site launches, because that's the other thing that happens is, you know, we're, as business owners, we're really busy. We're drowning in work the day to day, right? And thinking about that website is another daunting task. And then what happens after my website is built? How am I going to, now what? where where is this website? So so it's really important that, you know, when you do have your website up and running, that you do have full ownership of it, whether or not you're in there making edits, or even the agency. I think it's important that there is like a feeling of confidence there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why when I see somebody walk into my door, and believe me, this happens still to this day, and their website is hard coded. Um, you
Sorry.
laugh. I know. I mean, you have no idea how often this still happens. And I see a hard coded website, and I'm going like, when was the last time you updated this? Well, when it was done. When was it done? Well, a long time ago. How long? 7 years, 8 years. How relevant is this? Well, not really. Why have you not made any changes? I don't know how to get in. And it's
Yes.
hard coded. So I can't make a single change. So now I need to find somebody who can also hard code and go on this website. And I'm like, absolutely not. You are forbidden from even thinking that thought. You will be thrown off the island. Your survivor story is over. This
Yeah.
is so you got to be also, as a business owner, I think when it comes to your online presence, pretty straightforward with yourself. Just because you did it 10 years ago and you were so excited and that was your first website and it looked really great, it really doesn't cut it. And even if it was the best coder back then and is a friend of a friend of a friend who had a friend who did that, who then since went into rehab and then moved to Bali, you got to let these things go and cut your losses, because an online presence, no matter how simple it is, and I actually think that simple websites today are worth more. We went, to your point, we went in last year and I went through page after page after page and I took out all the redundancies. I took pages down. I'm like, do I need this? Is this even relevant? What do we need to cut the fat to make it amazing? So I hope we have driven, dear listener, at this point home on why this is so important. Lindy, question for you. So what is it about for you? Is it about helping people to get their message out faster? What makes you passionate about this?
The ability to be able to help so many small business owners get great online presences. That, I mean, it's really that in a nutshell. Again, when I started Up in a Day, truthfully, creating this whole business model and this new to market type of service, it was really for me as a business owner, having been in corporate for 15 years in New York and then a digital marketing agency after that on my own, to make my life easy. So creating this like very process turnkey digital solution was a lot about, where I am going in my career. But then, fast forward a year, it's not about that at all. It's so much fun meeting so many people. And the best part about Up in a Day is seriously the website review. It's like the HGTV review reveal when people go into their house for the first time and they see it completely remodeled. That is exactly how it is. And it is just so transformative for these business owners. And it's just like cool to watch. And I just love helping people, and delivering that level of customer service is something I've always been passionate about. And it just so happened that, the product has proven success, and even more so for me, watching these people just have success in their business. So it's really great. It's super fun.
I love that. Yes, I can see that. Because it's a tangible item and you can see it right away. And especially in the creative world, I remember when I was working in the magazine world and I was an editor, photo editor. I mean, and every month you got that magazine and you saw what you did. So there's unbelievable gratification, because you can say, yeah, my name is in this, I did this. And month after month, you have a tangible item that you can show to people. So how can somebody who says, all right, fine, find Lindy, I'm ready to tackle my website, where should they go?
They can go to our website and book a call with our one CTA, which you will see. It's upinaday.co. So that's CO. And I also want to say we have, if you're not quite sure whether or not your website needs updating or what it is that it actually needs, we have this really cool service where we will do a free website review. You just fill out a quick form and we record a video of us inside your website, pointing out strategic areas that we think could use improvement. So people love that. It's a fun one.
Excellent. And that's also at the website, or is it a different URL? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would definitely encourage all of you to do that who are listening, because they always say that, you have a tip of the nose, but you can't technically see it. So have somebody else look at it and tell you if you have a big fat pimple on top of it. And make sure that you take Lindy up on her generous offer to go and review your website. Lindy, it's been absolutely amazing to have you on the show. I really appreciate your time here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Thank you. And that is it for us today. Thank you so much for listening. This is Beate Schillett, your growth architect. And that's it for us today. Thank you for listening and watching the Business Growth Architect Show. I enjoyed having you here. And for accountability, just take one of the strategies that you have heard, one thing that you can implement in your business immediately. Please leave comments. Don't forget to like and share this show. And if you have any questions about business, please put them in the comments. We are here for you. We're here to support you and help you to grow, build, and scale your own business. For more advice, please check out our website in the show notes below. Thank you again. This is Beate Schillett, the Growth Architect, and goodbye.